Rusty Quill presents
Ain't Slayed Nobody is a produced actual play podcast intended for adults, and may contain material that some people find disturbing. Please see the episode notes for content warnings, and listen with care.
Wallace Corporation presents The Nexus 9, a new era of replicant advancement. Dependable, durable, loyal, stable. Allow the Nexus 9 to perform for you and eliminate the stress from your day. Able to work in extreme conditions without rest or sustenance, the Nexus 9 will outperform any competition with minimum safety requirements. What does our future look like? It looks like you. The Nexus 9, a breath away from humanity. Only available in Blade Runner the role-playing game. Use code ASN at freeleaguepublishing.com for 10% off this game and any of Free League's other products. We recommend buying them all for the betterment of humankind.
Anemoid Row is known for its marketplace of exotic synthetic pets. This has allowed for growth in the black market and the trafficking of stolen and smuggled rare pets hidden among legitimate trade. Would you like to know more?
Yes. Are real animals ever sold there?
Collecting data. Please wait. Inconclusive. Define parameters.
Living. Alive. Animals of flesh and blood.
Collecting data. Please wait. Replicant raptor bird model OWB-1022 and iguana model IGR-1201 found. Advanced design has augmented behaviors to include eating and birth.
Okay. Redefine alive as born from nature.
Collecting data. Searching external databases. Please wait. Wallace Corporation provides multiple models which are now deemed alive. We offer a 5-year limited warranty on our new N9 humanoid models.
Come
Granted
on!
life through implanted memories, the N9 range will bring humanity to any profession. If you own a model suffering from trauma which requires recalibration, please book an appointment today. Would you like to know more?
No! Send Detectives Novak and Fenna an update on Anemoid Row. I'll be there shortly.
Missive sent. Do you have any more requests at this time?
Sign off.
Goodbye.
Grim faces watch us as we cuff him. Tall and shaven bald, this Styles stares unblinking in the rain. Hauling him to his feet, the N9 known to me as Fenna walks him back toward the snake pit. I eyeball each member of the gang, daring them to try something, then follow Fenna and Styles through the neon-bathed streets, wondering which one of them is more dangerous. My KIA blinks to life with a message. Golden boy Percival is heading to Anemoid Row to look into exotic animals. I don't see the connection. But hey, I'm wired differently.
You already know what I got to say. Some assholes harassed the dancer, and a fight broke out. How hard is that to write down? Go talk to her.
Hey, look here. He's giving me advice on how to do my job. Comedian as well.
One of the cops at the snake pit could take him in. Or we could interrogate him now.
Nah, send him back with a beat cop. Let him cook in the cell for a bit. Loosen his tongue.
You are being recorded as you slam him up against the side of your spinner.
This guy's telling tales, knows more than he's letting on, and fled the scene. Take him back to HQ so we can have a proper little sit-down when we're done here. Process him, read him his rights, book, all that.
Ah, shit, me? I'm almost on lunch break.
Yeah.
Hell, all right, I'll eat back at HQ. He punches some notes into the KIA. You got his ID?
Claims he doesn't have it, but we want to run his prints. Something tells me he's in the system.
What do you want me to tell Holden?
I'm inclined to defer to your preference, Mr. Novak, but I will say that until we have something more actionable, it doesn't necessarily seem worthy of putting in front of Chief Holden.
Oh, you don't want to tell him everything about our little display of heroism just now?
Your display, I would say. Again, I will defer to your preference.
We'll tell him that we're holding a suspicious character for interrogation, yeah. The broad strokes.
Sure, you got it. The officer takes possession of Styles and bundles him into his own spinner, while the gawkers continue to record and stream.
Would it be worth having Percival meet us here, and then we can go to Anemoid Row afterwards? I don't know if his expertise would be beneficial to bring to bear here.
If there's a place where his particular set of skills could come to bear, I suppose this would be the spot.
Fenn is already texting him.
Emojis or?
The most confusing message, and then an actual text message that says something like, meet us at the scene of the crime.
I understood your emojis.
I'm just seeing like car, praying hands, cloud, Easter Island head. Okay.
Right.
He'll understand, don't worry.
Yeah, I guess then, given the suggestion from Fenna and Novak, I will head to the snake pit.
Eventually, Percival sets down a spinner outside the snake pit, and as you're exiting, a message comes through your video phone from Quell at Wallace Court.
Unit JL2-780, be advised. You are to report to me at Wallace Corp headquarters for an immediate debrief. Any further delay will be received poorly by our superiors.
Well, change of plans. I am going to Wallace Corp headquarters. Want to join? I've got kind of a good boy complex, so I'm going to Wallace Corp.
Percival, surely there's some amount of time that you can spend here. We could really use your expertise in this situation. We haven't even been able to fully examine the crime scene yet. Listen, I will take full responsibility for whatever fallout comes of it.
Well, I suppose we can have a look while we're here. And we'll be quick, so there isn't any fallout. As I step out, I'm going to get my comb out and make sure that being in the spinner didn't mess up my hair at all, and get all presentable, straighten up. Here we go again.
Percival, are you using a new pomade? Your hair looks lustrous.
Oh, thank you. It's actually natural.
Amazing.
I do appreciate it. Kind of you to compliment.
Novak smoking silently, watching this exchange with the most impassive, like, silent judgment, and just walks in.
Novak pushes inside the club, flashing his ID at the officer by the door, while Fenna and Percival trail in, continuing their conversation. The snake pit's interior is an ostentatious throwback to a bygone age. Gaudy red and gold filigree borders, tacky drink-soaked carpets which grasp at your shoes, as you head over to the proprietor behind the bar. Taffey Lewis is polishing a battle-scarred bar with a dirty rag when he spots you. He's a short man in a cheap suit, and he too sports pomade in his hair, but looks less than sharp, making Percival overly conscious about his own natural hair. Here's a photo of the scene you're walking into.
Ooh.
Ooh, sweet.
Very cool.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
The outcome of the brawl is evident around the room, with a large dark stain of blood at the heart of overturned stools, smashed speakers, and out-of-order auto trays.
Ooh, look at that broken mirror.
Does that mirror look like it was shattered by something large hitting it or a bullet hitting it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you walking over to the mirror?
Yeah, can I make an observation roll?
Absolutely.
I'm quite good at observation. That's 2 successes.
It does look like a bullet impact.
Okay, can I search for the bullet? Is it 10 millimeter?
You confirm that it is by finding the deformed bullet stuck in the wall behind the mirror.
Is there blood on it?
Trace amounts.
Well, this matches the bullet size from the body in the morgue. Are there any other signs of bullet damage anywhere else, or was this a single shot fired?
You can comb the club with your observation successes, but you don't see another shot. One thing that strikes you is that you're not finding a casing for the bullet anywhere in the club. This was a caseless bullet, or it was fired by a revolver.
Can I text Coco really quick?
Yeah, Coco loves your texts.
This time it'll actually be text, not emojis.
That's a shame.
I'll ask Coco, what is the trajectory through the body of the bullet? Was it horizontal? Was it at an angle going up? Because the mirror it seems to be somewhat high.
The exit wound was 2 inches above entry, consistent with the shooter pressing the gun into the vic's chest at an upward angle.
Interesting.
As Percival pores over every detail of the club, what is Novak up to?
I might approach Taffey.
Taffey has been watching Percival and Fenna carefully pace out the shot to the mirror, while still polishing the same spot on the bar. A woman, probably a dancer in a robe, cuts across the floor, avoiding eye contact, slipping backstage.
Okay. See, I'll roll up on Taffey. Rough night at the snake pit, huh?
Yeah, we've had better. You here to tell me I can open again?
Not so fast. Maybe you should get done picking the bullets out of the walls.
Yeah, I would have cleaned up, but your colleagues insisted I leave everything as is, awaiting your discerning eye, I'm sure. You know, my customers don't really care. They just want to see what's on stage, you know?
Hey, when you have a show as captivating as yours is, Taffey, it doesn't really matter what's going on in the audience. Until you got a body splayed out in the middle of the floor. So, what's the deal? You see anything?
Well, I mean, what's to see? The lights are low, the product is selling, and we're all having a good time. Then, this guy shouts and throws a drink, and a fight breaks out. Nothing we've not seen before. Unfortunately, I don't have a good memory for faces, you know, unless you're a cop. I remember those.
Oh, yeah. It's one of ours that's currently laid up in the icebox back in HQ.
Yeah. Sad thing when a rep dies like that, especially a cop.
You said it was a brawl. Like how many we talking before people started popping off?
Yeah, it was dark. What do I know? Maybe a dozen throwing punches?
Yeah, we heard that there were some anti-rep rabble-rousers heckling your girls.
We host a diverse crowd. They've been coming here for a while, and sometimes they stir up some shit, but never got a replicant shot, you know.
Thought you'd keep this sort of clientele out of your establishment, Taffey. Bad for business.
Their Chin Yen spends as well as any, and I like Chin Yen. All part of doing business in glorious Sector 1.
So, he's describing a fight between the two factions, culminating in the death of this replicant. But we've got Leah leaving the scene alone and safe. And we've got those images of them. So I may pull up my KIA and I pull up the picture of Leah. It's like, does she look familiar to you?
Oh, yeah, told you I had a memory for cops. She was sitting at the bar with your stiff. Sandor, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she kept to herself, watching the crowd.
And then what was the deal? Were they wading in, trading punches with the best of them?
No, I can't say I was keeping tabs. I was a little distracted protecting the talent, you know. But sure, you ever meet a cop that wouldn't join in?
Yeah. Okay, so this is just kind of corroborating what we've heard.
You can give me an insight roll now that you've been talking to Taffey for a bit.
Totally. Let's hit him with the double D8s. Here we go. Okay, both failures.
Oh, Lord. Taffey seems like he just wants you to get out of here and let him reopen the club.
Naturally.
What are you pressing me for anyway? You think the club's got something to do with this?
I mean, if the club has something to do with it, then I would think that you're not holding your own best interest as an entrepreneur at heart. Take it easy, Taffey. We might be back to chat with you, and I want to walk backstage and see that dancer.
Nice chatting with you, detective.
I'd love to follow him backstage if I see him heading that way. And I'll tap Percival as I go and just, let him know that I'm heading up and see if he wants to come too.
In a moment. I assume that I was close enough to hear the conversation between Novak and the owner. Just want to walk up and ask the owner one more question.
Oh, Jesus, look at you. Huh. Just pulled from the mold, are we?
Not quite. I'm 14 months old.
What can we do for you?
You recall the gunshot, the sound?
Yeah, it was like a bell, like a bell ringing.
Where were you at the time? Not accusing you.
Well, that's two questions, isn't it? But I was sitting over there on that stool shouting at security to get Iris backstage. You have to think about your assets first and foremost.
Was Leah still at the bar at the time when the gunshot went off?
Well, no, I didn't see her. Things were loud and chaotic, you understand. By the time the smoke cleared, this guy was bleeding out on the floor and everybody ran to the doors. I called the police right away, of course, and that's it. I don't really care who pulled the trigger. I just want to get back to business, you know?
Of course you do.
You're more pleasant than your partner.
What a surprise.
Nice hair, too.
Thank you.
Are you programmed to dance?
Oh. Thank you, that'll be all. Alright, I'm gonna continue to the back and join Fenna and Novak.
When you step away, maybe because of the flattery, you almost stumble into that large bloodstain.
Does it look like a normal amount of blood for one person bleeding out on the floor? I assume I've seen that at some point in the last year.
There is a lot of it, and if left to bleed out, it's your estimation that this could be from one large male.
Mm-hmm.
Seems no one cared enough to plug the wound.
I think I will continue to join Fenna and Novak.
They're gone. Run a full check.
Backstage, Novak, you find yourself in cold, bare plaster corridors with a series of marked dressing room doors. You spot one with light leaking out across the bare floorboards.
Just a gentle knock.
Come in, Taffey. I'm decent.
No.
Oh.
Opening the door wide, she freezes and pulls her robe tight, then crosses her arms. She retreats inside, allowing you all to enter. Inside, a cracked mirror surrounded by white bulbs has pride of place amongst racks of flamboyant costumes.
I think as Fenna sees this woman for the first time, she kind of stops in her tracks for a split second before regaining her composure, and then she'll say, "We're so sorry to disturb you. Are you Iris?"
She lights a cigarette and puffs it intensely.
Yeah, that's me. Are you here for an autograph?
No, sorry. We're with the LAPD. We just wanted to ask you a few more questions.
Sorry to hear about what happened.
I've already talked to so many of you about this. What else is there to say?
You were on stage, dancing, correct? I mean, when the fighting broke out.
Yeah, I was doing a 1-hour set. It was almost over. They're saying it's because of me that man is dead.
No, I assure you that is not true. We aren't trying to blame you for any of this, Iris.
They were yelling at me, throwing their drinks.
This whole faction of hecklers.
Assholes. Yeah.
These assholes who hear him to catcall and jeer. I know it's hard to see under those lights, but you ever see any of them before? Any of them give you a hard time?
Oh, sure. The guys from Kill magazine? Human trash.
Oh, yeah. We heard he was lurking around, Skylar.
Yeah, he likes to look, but always ends the same. It's the new models. We're too real, I think.
Yeah. It's interesting you bring up new models. The fellow who bled out on the floor there was in here looking for an old model. You heard anything about that?
Not that I remember.
Can I do an insight, see what she's...
Yeah, of course.
Okay. 1 success.
Yeah, you can't really discern whether she's scared or she's lying to you outright.
Mm-hmm. And I would maybe extend my little pack of probably like Chinese cigarettes across to her and like, yeah, you had a long night.
She'll light one of those cigarettes off the nub she's smoking before stubbing that one out.
I'd like to walk over and light touch, just make some sort of physical contact, like a hand on a shoulder, see how she responds immediately, if that is something that she flinches from or is getting comfort from.
She doesn't flinch.
I'm gonna do that subtle, it's like a very subtle shift towards a more kind of like feminine presenting demeanor, like a sisterly kind of vibe, and warm up a little bit.
Okay, give me a manipulation roll.
Oh yeah, happily. 1 or 2 successes.
Iris swivels around on her stool to face Fenna.
I don't want to prolong any stress. I just have to ask a few more questions. Did you see anything strange? Even if it seems insignificant. You were on stage and had the best view of the room, so did anything stick out at all?
There are lights pointed at me. It's hard to see the crowd. I just tried to make myself small. Barely anyone tried to help. Pathetic.
Who is pathetic?
Listen, not many that come in here are gonna give a shit about the girls, Taffey included. We are replaceable. It's no surprise.
Chinyan is king after all, right? I mean, he's used other violent incidents to promote the club in the past.
Yeah, he said tonight will be my biggest turnout ever. Come see the N9 that turns crowds into baying mobs. He's right, I guess, but he doesn't have to smile and dance for that mob. That's what I'm designed for.
I think Fenna is going to reach her hand out towards Iris, and if she doesn't flinch or seem uncomfortable, Fenna will put her hand on Iris's arm, and she'll say, just a little quieter, so it's almost like she's excluding Novak. She'll just ask again, trying to gain her confidence a little more. Are you okay to get home? Are you worried at all? Would you like some extra protection for the rest of the evening?
I'm as safe as it's gonna get. Thanks for the offer, but no different than any other night.
If I may, I don't mean to make you relive your trauma, but please try to recall the moment that the gunshot went off. What did you see?
I've answered this already. Can you go now?
I'll give her a reassuring squeeze on the arm.
Yeah, I suppose we all should go. And I hand her my card, and I'm like, anything else comes to mind, don't hesitate to reach out. Oh, and one more thing. Someone come around to your ever big guy, Cue ball. Goes by the name of Styles?
No. I don't think so.
Alright, well, we'll be seeing you.
Thank you, officer.
Can I do just a quick insight check on that reaction?
The question caught her off guard. She tensed up a bit at the mention of Styles.
Do you know this man? He's helping us with our inquiries.
Look, he's not a bad guy. He helps people like us, replicants. Don't be too hard on him. For me?
I'll say nothing and just slip my card into her hand, nodding. As Fenna turns to leave, I think she'll say, Iris, I hope I can catch your performance sometime. I hear it's quite a sight.
With a glazed stare, she nods.
To die for.
Fenna shuts the door after her, and she just takes a moment before following after the others.
As you all reappear on the stage, Taffey calls over.
So, can I reopen, or are we just waiting until we find the best and brightest of you with trial and error?
The best and brightest for the best and brightest.
Mr. Taffey, I have one more question. And I'm laser focused on pupil dilation and the flushing of his face. I'm assuming Taffey's human. How often does Mr. Schuyler come in?
He comes in probably once every couple of weeks, causes some kind of fuss, and then slithers back into the shadows. Maybe he's trying to fix his building by slinging garbage stories. I don't know. Someone blew a hole in it. Maybe it was an N9?
You're sensing a true distaste for Schuyler. And you know ever since the club started putting N9s to work, Kill Magazine's been trying to drum up trouble.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now get me my permit back.
Oh, an August establishment like this? I'm surprised the community hasn't banded together to save you with a bake sale or a dance contest.
Yeah. And here I thought bribes were illegal. You've got all your evidence, right? Can I start mopping up this blood?
Well, Percival has taken as many pictures as he needs, so we should have a pretty clear view of the crime scene, but it would be better if our team did the cleaning. So please, don't touch anything.
If there's one rule you should know around the snake pit, it's you can look, but you can't touch.
I need to open tonight. I should bill your PD for lost revenue. Just get out.
Take it easy, Taffey. And we bounce.
Iris is watching you leave from half behind the stage curtain. Outside, the crowd is dispersed a bit, but there's still a slight buzz from the earlier excitement of the chase. The cops are disinterested, but holding the line.
I'll send the bullet back to Coco.
Yeah, if you're not going to HQ, you can send the bagged bullet back with somebody else.
There's something coming together. It may not be this, but it seems that there's a anti-replicant crew working at the encouragement of Yella Schuyler of Kill. But then there's also this crew that Styles is affiliated with that is either offering protection or shakedown of the replicants there. So that these factions meeting in the cabaret there. And in the middle of it all is our victim and the mysterious Leia. I know those are pretty broad strokes, but we can send something to the effect of that back to Holden.
Yeah.
When you send that summary to Holden, he immediately puts through a message to your spinners.
Are you fucking kidding me? Quell is 2 feet up my ass and you're ignoring her? Percival, she told you to go to Wallace Corp. Now get the fuck over there.
Yes. On my way there now.
Fenna will jump in and say, we had to finish up some stuff at the crime scene. Because of the mess in there, it was important that all of us attended to it before Taffey started to mess with anything.
Okay, since you're making an excuse, I'm going to ask for a connections roll. I want to see how close you are with Holden.
Fails. 2 fails.
Oh my god, you're rolling so terribly.
so terribly.
Thank you, Fenna, for telling me how a crime scene works. Stop texting and get to Wallace Corp.
I'm going to take a promotion point from everybody for not following the order.
Oh, you monster.
Damn.
This really hurts Percival. Percival will remember this.
Is there any mechanic here that would allow me to lose 2 promotion points so that Percival doesn't have to lose any?
No, it's too fun for me having Percival lose one.
Okay. Even if there's no mechanical thing here, because she said she would, she will explain to Holden, maybe like a completely separate message, that, like, Percival was going to go and I held him back.
Holden sends over a thumbs up emoji that's dripping with sarcasm, if an emoji can do that.
Oh, it can.
Oh, yeah.
It's the first emoji he's ever sent you.
Yeah, I get the vibe. It's like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do not delay, and I just full speed to Wallace.
Are all of you going there?
I think I will also go to Wallace because it weirds the old Blade Runner in me out to have a replicants interview Wallace officials. It's like an iPhone interviewing Tim Cook. It's like,
wow.
I always think that there's bias at play, either worship or hate.
Yeah, you and Percival can share a spinner.
Fenna will express interest in going along with you, but then also kind of like a new desire to not make Styles cook for too long in the holding cell, and maybe kind of pose the question to the group of, like, would it be better to split up and y'all go to Wallace and me go back to the tower?
That seems reasonable. I think we should all reconvene after this in Anemoid Row.
Yeah.
But that might be a good use of your time.
All right.
And you got some more things at Iris. You got good people skills, kid.
I think Fenna will affect pleasure at the compliment.
Taking the PD spinner, Novak and Percival fly to Sector 4, dominated by the sleek black ziggurats of the Wallace Corporation's mega factories. Navigating the forest of gas-burning flare stacks and mammoth displays, the spinner descends into the bowels of the temple-like structure.
Spinner 122, be advised on descent. Expected arrival time in 4 minutes, 35 seconds.
The shaft eventually opens into a cavernous garage bathed in pools of golden light, which glisten over black marble water features. As you make the long procession from your spinner, you see a lone replicant waiting for you in the shadows of this empty palace.
First things first, I look at my reflection in the spinner and make sure my hair is still looking good.
No need to worry about that, kid. You're gorgeous.
Well, thank you, Novak. Though I am worried about how Quell will react to our tardiness. Best to, make our appearances as good as we can.
Oh, in that case, just like straighten a tie that has been loose this whole time, in the most cursory way, and walk in.
That was an adequate adjustment.
Your footsteps break the reverence with their clumsy scuffs as you approach the replicant. Dressed in all white, she stands sentinel near the portal which leads deeper inside. Almost as if activated by your approach, her face breaks into a warm smile, and she produces a tablet like a stage magician.
Welcome to Wallace Corporation. How may we help you on this new day?
Quell, please. She's expecting us.
Yes, she was. Quite some time ago. No matter. Quell will see you at her inconvenience. Detectives, please follow me.
Her fingers dance deftly over the touchscreen display before she leads you through the gateway and down spacious empty hallways. You finally arrive at a set of antique double doors set in white marble. Your guide stops, waving a hand at her tablet, and the carved old entrance breaks inward with a sigh.
Come.
We'll go in.
If you have further requirements during your stay at Wallace Corporation, please vocalize your desire. I am assigned to you for the duration.
Thank you very much.
The far wall of the room looks out over the skyline, its lights washed together by lashing rain. Looking down over the city, Quell stands beside a long redwood table, which would sit 24 board members. The only other blemishes in the otherwise perfect open space are trinkets of war along one wall. Suits of armor and ancient swords, displayed in their perfection like seized trophies from hostile acquisitions.
It is so nice of you to finally join us today. Thank you for coming.
Yes, Quell, and my sincere apologies for our tardiness. We had an urgent investigation, and, well, these matters do require that we take evidence as quickly as possible, but do know that we tried to make it here as fast as we could.
So I heard. I sent an inquiry to your superior, not knowing if my message was lost. I hope it wasn't any trouble for you.
No, ma'am. And I bow.
I clocked this bow. And I'm like, I'm just like,
Like a full bow.
It's a half bow. It's a little lean forward.
And with no bow. Just like, yeah, we came as soon as we could, but you know how it is. We were cataloging some of the blood at the scene. These things take time.
Through rain-streaked glass, she stands watching the industrious lines of traffic far below, and addresses you without even looking up.
Tell me everything you know so far. How is the investigation going?
Does she have the clearance level, the classification to this information, or is she trying to get more than she rightfully deserves to know at this point?
Who answers to whom is very murky for you. You know that Holden and others at the LAPD at times seem to answer to Wallace Corp. But also you know that this is a criminal investigation involving N9s.
It does appear that there is some tension between anti-replicant and pro-replicant clientele at the club. Any details about individuals there have not yet been confirmed, so I cannot state any names at this point.
Despite interrupting my schedule, you have no information to share, is this correct?
No confirmed information. I hope you'll understand the difference.
Have care for our situation, Detective. We N9s were conceptualized and made flesh 14 months ago. The public's opinion hangs on a knife's edge. Despite our wish to appear human, the involvement of N9s in this incident is a grave setback. It besmirches our transcendence from the more primitive natures of humanity. This has been vexatious to Mr. Wallace.
It is a shame that one of your products has been the victim of such a callous attack.
Products?
But it would seem to me... I'm sorry.
Products.
One of your creations has been the victim of such a terrible attack. But it would seem to me it would probably only be a real embarrassment, and one that would forestall the public's approval of the integration of the N9s back into the general public. If it was to be found that a Nexus 9 was the perpetrator.
Quell's reflection on the glass wall stares at you, Novak, before she turns, meeting your gaze with her cold gray eyes.
Are you seriously suggesting that is a possibility?
I'm not suggesting that's the case. I'm suggesting that as a detective, we have to keep our options open.
As I said before, we have no confirmed names or identities.
You're a Nexus 9. What's your codename and number?
Percival JL2-7.80.
In your evaluation, Percival, is an N9 capable of what you saw?
Unlikely, but of course all things are possible.
Are they possible?
We have some leads to follow up on, for what that's worth.
It is worth quite a lot.
A holographic interface appears at her side as Quell takes her place at the head of the long table. You're quite certain you're being recorded.
Elaborate upon leads.
I am uncomfortable listing the names of our leads prior to investigating them ourselves. If someone else were to get there... I'm sorry, Novak, one moment. If someone else were to get there ahead of us, That could disrupt our investigation, and it is very important that our investigation is not disrupted.
I assure you, I would not diminish your capacities. On the contrary, I will help you focus your talents more effectively.
Thanks for not letting me interrupt you, Percival, because I couldn't have said it any better myself. Of what interest is it to the Wallace Corp what leads we're currently following unless you have some power that you're going to bring to bear on the leads that we inform you of?
Am I detecting hostility from you, Detective Novak? Have you spoken to Deputy Chief Holden about this investigation?
Oh, well.
He pledged full disclosure and cooperation with Wallace Corporation.
Then it seems that Holden would be the one to disclose said information.
To be clear, you wish I should be given second-hand information from Deputy Chief Holden? I should interrupt his stressful day to ask him to do your job for you?
If you'll excuse me a moment.
By all means.
Percival's just going to stand up and walk to the corner of the room, and he's going to text Holden.
Oh, God. Okay, what are you texting Holden? Which emojis?
I'm going to text him a notepad and a pencil and then a smiley face and then a thumbs up and a thumbs down.
Oh, God. You see that a voice message comes through.
You know, I will walk over, I will sit down, and I will play the voice message for all three of us.
Are you seriously fucking bothering me with this right now? Do whatever Quell wants. Shine her shoes. I don't give a fuck.
Damn.
Well, that was unexpected.
And I'm going to take another promotion point from Percival.
Damn.
Oh no, he's having the worst day.
And Fenna's not even here to defend you.
Oh, jeez. Nope.
All right, really putting the screws to us.
Thank you for sharing, Percival. I have a suspicion that the consequences of your non-cooperation would be unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm beginning to get that feeling as well. Yeah, we've been to the crime scene. We've interviewed the owner. We've interviewed witnesses. We've taken forensic evidence into consideration. My partner here has inspected the body. We found the bullet. We have a sense of the weapon that was used, the trajectory at which it was fired. And we have a sense of the cocktail of personalities at play that were shaken up down there in the snake pit that might have been at the cause of the little brawl that was taking place. But there's still so much that we'd like a light shed on.
See, Detective Novak, that was painless. Thank you for your diligence.
And I'm just curious if there's anything that we need to know from you.
Within reason, I will answer any questions I can. Regretfully, some may breach my TOS.
Now, I'm sure that part of the reason that you're taking such an interest is what a terrible black eye it would be to the Wallace Corporation if one of your creations was to be found in any way liable for the violence, being as they are, made, here indicating Percival, made to be completely compliant and incapable of violence against their fellow creations and those of us created in a more, shall we say, traditional mode. Yeah?
Eloquent, too.
So, I'm going to ask you, is there any way that a Nexus 9 could, shall we say, backslide in the way of some of the earlier iterations? The 8s, the 6s, of which I have some personal experience?
So you do think the killer was an N9? Fascinating.
I'm not saying I think that. I'm just saying that there were N9s on the scene. And in order to bring something like this to completion without bias, here looking around, I have to keep my options open.
Have you seen many establishments without 9s on the scene recently? I suspect not, because they're that good.
Percival smiles at that. I have a personal question.
You have my permission to speak?
Our implants, are they purely fictional, or are they based on real events?
Are you unhappy with your memories?
On the contrary, I just find them curious.
The gift of your past selves is subcontracted to the memory lab. Treading as we are in her father's shadow, Lilith Tyrell pushed the edge of AI. Creating perfection with flawed experiences grounds the mind.
The Lilith of Lilith Memory Labs is Lilith Tyrell? And, I assume that someone as old as Novak. Is this Alden Tyrell's relative?
She is Eldon Tyrell's niece.
Uh-huh.
Is that a problem for you, Detective?
And what does that imply?
Let's just say that, the Tyrell's track record for the stability of their product, a little rocky. So, yeah, I'd definitely like to have a conversation.
She is a brilliant memory designer, bearing no relevance to your mission, Detective Novak. You of all people should understand the importance of leaving your biases in the past.
Is there anything else you need from us at this time? Or should we pass all of our, the intelligence that we collect through you?
Everything.
We have someone in custody now.
Really? A Nexus 9?
I don't believe so.
Curious.
But as you said, it's hard to tell.
Your friend was so passionate, I had to ask.
Yeah. The matter of the individual's identity is still very much in question.
Did the dead Nexus 9 Sander exhibit signs of hostile behavior or malfunction? What prompted your inquiry into an N9 committing violence?
You're pretty young. I'm old enough to where, You ever taken one of the old Voidconf tests yourself?
She gives you an icy stare.
I have not.
Should pull one out of archives sometimes. It'll change the way you look at a lot of things.
I'll have to take your word for it.
We're curious because we've got an N9 leaving the scene.
I see. What is the serial number?
The model number is LH3-7.93, codename Leah.
Quell looks down at the display pad and quickly punches in some information. You can give me an insight roll while she does that.
Me?
Whoever's better, I guess, of the two of you.
That's not me.
I don't think I've succeeded at an insight roll once today, but I'll go for it.
Now's your moment. Now's the time.
If you only have one shot, here we go.
White noodle bar in your sweater already?
Yeah. Ooh, 2 successes. You gotta lose yourself.
Yeah.
You suspect Quell is putting on a show here. She knew that name and number.
Mm-hmm. Suspected that this was the case. All right.
This unit failed her baseline test recently and was brought in for recalibration. It is a standard procedure. Reaching mass production last year, there are tens of millions of N9s in service. Minor malfunctions are within tolerance and to be expected. Leaving the scene during the commotion may have been a factor of a second malfunction. It is highly unlikely we missed it, but possible.
Yeah.
What was the nature of her recalibration? And her malfunction?
A trivial issue with the memory lab programming. She did not take to the memories quite as well as most creations. A quick fix, really. Quite standard.
And I guess when she came in to you, you made the appropriate adjustments.
Of course.
Then it shouldn't be a problem. But you understand the nature of our work. We gotta keep our options open. It's important to keep an open mind.
How often do N9s come in for repair with these sorts of malfunctions? Is it common?
9.2 on average each day. Think of it as a health check. They are nearly perfect, but not quite like you are, Percival.
Okay, thank you.
I believe you are following a dead lead here, Detective Novak, and starting to sound very much like certain supremacist groups. I hope these people receive similar scrutiny.
No. All your insight is appreciated. We just happen to have some of those, particular individuals at the scene. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Interesting that you would omit them from our earlier discussion of your leads. Where do your loyalties lie, Detective?
We've detained you, long enough, what with our, tardiness and all.
I agree. I'll update Deputy Chief Holden on our interaction with glowing commendations.
appreciate it.
Until we meet again. Holden did say there were 3 of you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The person that we have in custody. You'll be happy to know that the 3rd member of our little investigative party is debriefing them right now.
Aren't we efficient? Have a safe trip back to the station.
Oh, I hate Quell so much.
Oh my god, this bitch.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck her.
Anyway.
Oh, the worst.
I can't believe I got demoted twice in one day.
Oh, wow.
You didn't get demoted. You just lost your promotion points.
What's the difference?
Oh, my God. Heading over to LAPD headquarters, Fenna, I believe you were intent on interviewing Stiles, the N9 suspect you picked up outside the snake pit. He came in willingly in the end. How would you like to play this?
As I'm heading back, I'm going to request that he be taken to an interrogation room, but I'm not going to go straight there. Before I go talk to him, I think I'd like to go to, maybe this is an Esper wall thing. When he was booked, I'm assuming they would have done fingerprints. They would have, if there is a file available on him, I agree with Novak's assessment that he seems like the kind of guy that would be in the system. So I'd love to go pull that up.
Sure, taking a detour on your way to the detention cells, you can find access to the tower's Esper wall in one of the server rooms. I'll need a tech roll, but you'll get a bonus die.
Oh no. Ugh. 1 success.
ID accepted. Welcome, FN9-239. What is your inquiry?
Yeah, let's say... Wait, do I have a photo of him?
You'd likely have snapped one before sending him back to HQ, and you can pull the booking details.
Yeah, I want to see whatever they pulled and then feed that back into the system if there isn't more information that they had.
Collecting data. Subject Stiles not found.
Oh. Okay.
Searching archive. 1 photo match found. Independent Sentinel. Year 2023. Headline. Information redacted. Caption. Information redacted. Story. Information redacted.
Okay. Well, that's not suspicious at all.
Hey, it's Danny from Ain't Slayed Nobody. I had so much fun playing Blade Runner RPG, especially looking at the Esper wall, digging through surveillance footage, and honestly really feeling like I was on a case. So I'm delighted to share a special offer from Free League Publishing. Not only do you get the beautiful full-color books that you expect from Free League, you also get stunning, accurate immersion into the neon noir Blade Runner universe. Use our code ASN for 10% off any order in the Free League online store at freeleaguepublishing.com. So use code ASN today before you get called in for a baseline test.
You are listening to Ain't Slayed Nobody. For ad-free episodes, heaps of bonus content, and special programming, please join our Patreon posse at patreon.com/ain'tslayed. Or subscribe to Ain't Slayed Nobody Plus at Apple Podcasts. See the show notes for full credits, and help us grow by posting friendly reviews and spreading the word to your friends and followers. Thank you, and good luck out there.